Welcome back to Krypton's Toy Vault. In this video, I'll be going over my top 10 figure releases of 2025. Last time I went over the top 10 Marvel Legends releases of 2025. This is going to be a more generalized, any line. There will be a little bit of crossover, but not a whole lot. But yeah, go ahead and get started with number 10. Alright, starting off at number 10, we have the Dragon Stars Ultra Instinct Goku. This is the sign one, the single card release, not the power pack with Jiren, but this is the one I was able to get. It's a pretty good figure. It's not... I very much enjoyed Dragon Ball Super, and I was really enjoying these Dragon Stars figures. I really just started picking them up late last year, and they provide a really good bang for the buck as far as price to what you get. They're about $20 a piece, $23 a piece, and you get a decent amount of articulation. You get a decent amount of sculpt. Not usually much in the way of paint, but what is there is decently done, and it's not the best most articulated, but it works well enough for Dragon Ball. So yeah, number 10 for 2025 is going to be Ultra Instinct Goku from Dragon Stars. Coming in at number 9 is going to be the Phantasm figure from McFarlane/DC Direct. This is a figure from the greatest Batman movie ever produced, and I wanted this figure to be way better. I still love it. It's made it to the top 10, but it's next to impossible to get it to stand out without the stand. And Todd, of course, had to put his shell shading on the figure, and it doesn't look great, but it's as far as I can figure out, the only action figure version of this character. I seriously doubt we ever get another one. I would love for Mattel to prove me wrong next year, but I know it's not going to happen. That said, I love this character, and to finally have it in action figure form is absolutely amazing. So, despite its downfalls, it's going to make it to number 9 on the list. At number 8, we've got the Jakks Pacific Darkseid. This is the one that came in the Sonic DC 4-pack with the Shadow, Batman, Flash, Sonic, and the Silver as Green Lantern. I did videos on those. I did videos on this Darkseid, and this was a complete shock to me. I had picked up the little Batman and Superman figures that they had released, and they were just complete trash. Both of them were broken out of the package and looked terrible. They had lots of articulation cuts, but they just didn't work very well. This figure, on the other hand, has fantastic paint, amazing sculpt. He's the right size. He works perfectly for a true 6-inch collection, like DC Icons or the DC animated stuff. It's like it looks good. It was completely out of nowhere, and it was a company that up until this point I hadn't had on my radar at all. I'd heard about their good Sonic figures, but it wasn't something that I had been dying to pick up. And then I found these, and since then I've gotten all of the DC figures that they've released in that larger, like 5.5 to 6-inch scale line, and I'm eagerly looking forward to the next wave or two. I will absolutely be picking those up. But yeah, this guy has made it to number 8 on the list. Number 7 is going to go to this CT Toys number 223 KO of the Mafex Daredevil. This CT Toys has been on my radar for quite a while. I've got several of their Spider-Mans. I had the Batman. I've got the Agent Venom, and every single one has been great. The early ones, the Spider-Mans, they have their issues, but this figure, aside from maybe a little bit of the squeakiness of the joints, maybe, if you put this figure next to the Mafex, I don't think you'd be able to tell the difference between the two. This figure's got all the sculpting, not a ton of paint, but he's got shading and highlights and all that stuff. He's got tons of articulation. He can get into any athletic pose you could possibly think of, especially for a Daredevil. Comes with great accessories, a ton of hands, 2 head sculpts, several different variations of his billy clubs, and it is just a very complete package for like 25 to 30 bucks after shipping. Yeah, you're gonna wait a little bit to get him. He's gonna ship from China. It's gonna take a little bit, but I tell you, the wait is very much worth it for this figure. That's why he's gonna be at number 7 on today's list. Coming in at number 5 is going to be the Mafex Superboy from the Reign of the Superman or Return of Superman wave. This is an absolutely, in my opinion, flawless representation of Superboy from that storyline. It's one of my favorite comics of all time, and I loved Superboy in it. It's got articulation. The jacket doesn't look as bad as I expected it to. The sculpt's there. The head sculpt looks good. The paint is flawless. It is just a top tier figure, and it reminds me that as good as CT Toys is, when you have the actual thing in hand, it's magical, and this is no exception. The Superboy is fantastic. I highly recommend picking it up if you don't already have it. As I said, he's going to be number 5 on my top 10. At number 6, we're going to pull out the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Punisher. For all the same reasons I gave on the last list, he's a very complete package, and having the war journals to make the kind of animated vibe really sold this figure for me. The figure itself, as it stands out of the package, is fantastic. I would have no qualms about having that stock version of this figure on my collection. It's just, I'd rather have this 10 times over. That said, that's why he's going to be at number 6 on the list. So, number 4 you saw in the previous list as well, and that's going to be the Spider-Man Unlimited from the Retro Card Wave. And for all the same reasons that I gave in that, why he was number 1 for Marvel Legends this year, that's why he is sitting at number 4 on this list. This is one of my all-time favorite iterations of this character. I loved the show. I would have totally loved to see it go forward, but obviously that'll probably never happen. They'll have to live vicariously through little plastic men. So, yeah. Spider-Man Unlimited is an easy top 10 on this list. He's going to be sitting at number 4. At number 3, coming in, is the CT Toys Gambit. This figure, I just picked up this figure this past week, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It has paint on it. It has sculpt on it. It comes with a cloth goods uh, trench coat. It's not the best trench coat, but it's cloth goods and it's wired. The accessories are cool. It comes with a ton of energy effects, various hands, various all sorts of stuff, and it just looks great. I haven't. It's another absolute slam dunk for CT Toys. That's why this Gambit is obviously the best X-Man is going to be at number 3 on my list. Number 2 is going to go to another company that before this year was not on my radar, and that is Jazzwares with their realistically any of their Halo Reach figures. I got the big 6-pack from GameStop, but I decided to pull in George as the demonstration because he's the biggest, and they just look amazing. They have really good articulation, especially for how big and bulky these figures are. And I don't know how well it comes across, but that visor is I fawned over it quite a bit in the full video. Just how reflective that visor. You can see my hands in the reflection. And these figures are great. They've got weathering, they've got paint, they've got sculpt. The weapons, it comes with a ton of weapons. They're not amazing, but they look good enough. And they come with I don't remember what it was, like 30 something hands to split among the 6 of them. It's a absolutely ridiculous bang for the buck. For $110, you get 6 figures, 30 something hands, 15 different weapons, and these figures that just look stunning in hand. And they've got a good weight to them, and they look great on the shelf. Halo Reach was very, very influential in my raising, and I spent ungodly numbers of hours on Halo Reach, and these figures have a very, very special place in my heart. So he's gonna be number 2. And lastly, we have sitting at number 1, the third company that wasn't on my radar before this year. That's the Blockies. Figures or model kits. I don't know. It might be cheating to put this figure in this list because it's technically a model kit, but it's a model kit that once it's put together is every bit as solid, if not more solid, than actual action figures. It's got amazing articulation. It feels like a figure. It's got sculpt and paint and all of the good stuff. There's these figures are well, I'm not doing all the Transformers and everything. I'm just doing like these. I'm gonna pick up the Evangelion ones probably starting next year, and all 3 of the Miku Fantastics series have been absolutely out of this world. And this is the most recent one, and it looks amazing. Comes with a ton of accessories. It's super easy to put together, but still interesting enough to not be boring, and all in all is a very much a 10 out of 10 regardless of which version you pick up. I have all 3 and I love all 3, but for the purposes of this video I decided to pull out the Vivid Echoes, and it's just that good of a figure. I would what at this point, whatever Blockies puts out for the Fantastic series, I will pick it up. It's impressed me so tremendously that these figures exist, and these ones are a little bit more expensive than the Transformers, but they're worth it. They're totally, totally worth it. That's why this Vivid Echoes, and additionally, all of the Miku Blockies kits are going to be sitting at number 1 this year for 2025. So, yeah, that's my top 10 for overall picks for the year of 2025. This was a good year for figures and figure collecting in general. We had a lot of really good heavy hitters, and there are more fantastic figures than this that came out this year. And I have others that I would probably put in this list that I've picked up this year that didn't come out this year. Uh, it's it was a For me personally, this was a really good year for collecting, and as a figures that came out specifically this year, it's pretty good. The Marvel Legends, not everything was great. What was good was really good, but there was a lot of stuff that was kind of hit or miss. Um, the but in general, there were a lot of companies that were really on their game this year, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing them continue that into the new year. I'm curious, really curious to see what Mattel is going to start doing for DC stuff in mid 2026. I'm curious to see Mafex. I know they're doing a Doomsday Superman Doomsday 2 pack that I'm really looking forward to. Really hoping that Jazzwares continues their Halo stuff because that 6 pack is absolutely phenomenal. Jack's Pacific really needs to continue with this DC Sonic stuff. It's great. I'm ecstatic to see what CT Toys does in the future. I would love to see them do some Supermans or no, so some other characters that we have in the Mafex lineup that would be nice to have a little bit cheaper alternative to pick up. That said, that is all I have for this list. I do want to do a big shout out to Extreme Sets. They didn't sponsor anything. I picked up this diorama set fully of my own accord, and it's absolutely amazing. It's a lot better of a backdrop than that little 3D printed brick building I had. I'm super ecstatic and super satisfied with it. That said, you've been watching Krypton's Toy Vault. I thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.